Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning into Sin's Workshop. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, today we are going to be reviewing the Sins on Their Bones by Laura Simonton. Honestly, this was such a great book. Absolutely loved it. I cannot wait to read the sequel. I think one of the best things about this book is just how open and celebrated queerness is. Now that's not to mean that it's forced in any way. It's just kind of it's there, it exists just like it exists, and it's very I don't know how to put it. It was wonderful. It was just wonderful to see queerness celebrated in a way. The characters are just themselves and love. And you see that a lot with Dimitri and Vasily, whom I love both of them. I just absolutely adore them. So much. And, you know, Dimitri was the king, the Tsar. He got dethroned and by his husband, and now he's just with his found family, and they're all just trying to survive, and they're planning to take back the throne, but they don't exactly know how, because Alexei is immortal. Also, he's an asshole. He's just an asshole. That's the best I can. But that's what I loved about it. He was just a pure, genuine, power-hungry asshole. He is a villain you just love to hate because he's just a villain. There is no tragic origin story. He's just a piece of shit. And I like that. I don't need a tragic story for every single villain. I don't need every single villain to be like, oh, well, they were an anti-hero. Sometimes I just want a character I can hate. And Alexei is awful. Absolutely awful. Oh, if I could just punch him in the face, I would. But he is, pardon me, asthma. My asthma's been acting up lately. But he is just awful. He is the worst. And the thing is, he forced Dimitri to go against his beliefs and bring him back from the dead. And now, in doing so, Alexei is devoted to the holy science, and he took the throne from his husband because he's like, no, I'm the better ruler. He's just power hungry, you know? He's just a power hungry bastard. Oh God, I hate him so much, but I love that. I love a character that I can hate. I'm just like, oh, I can't wait for you to get yours, you know? Just love that. There's absolutely no redemption for him. Once you read the book, there's no redemption for him either. And that's another thing I like. I don't need a redemption arc for the villains either. So I love that Simonton really stepped away from that and just created a villain. A honest-to-goodness villain. And it was rich, you know? But like I was saying, he forced Dimitri to do something awful. Bring him back from the dead with the holy science. Then he took the throne from him, right? So he's immortal at this moment, you know? He can get injured, but he heals instantly. And, it's just intense. It's intense. It's very somber, the setting, this tone of this book. It's very, just think, you know, it really does have a good Russian sort of aesthetic to it. You know, when you read Russian lit and you think of somber lands and, you know, lots of cold days and darkness and bleakness. So that's the feeling this story has evoked in me as I was reading it. But I loved the atmosphere with the storytelling. Absolutely, I wanted more of it. It was just so captivating in that way because the author really puts you in this world. She submerges you in it. And what I think is really great as well is it goes to her Jewish roots. So there's a lot of Jewish mythology. I know that can be off-putting for some people. Believe me, I'm not one who... I don't always appreciate when you put modern religions into fantasy and then you're kind of just shoving it down my throat. I think everyone is entitled to their religion. I'm pagan. My family's Catholic. My husband's family is Catholic and Christian. So I am respectful for a lot of religions. Whatever helps you be a better person in here and you act it, power to you. As long as you practice what you preach, that's what I mean to say. Then I don't really care what your religion is, as long as you just don't do harm to people, right? But when I read it and it feels like you're kind of shoving your religion down my throat, I don't really appreciate that. So I so appreciate this novel because I don't know a whole lot about Judaica. I really don't. You know, I know the bare minimum, the barest minimum, right? But I liked that it was there in the story. It didn't feel out of place. You know, sometimes when you read a fantasy and it has Christianity or Catholicism in it, it feels weird and it feels out of place. It did not in this novel. It fit. So I think Simonton did a really good job of bridging fantasy and the religion she grew up with into the book without, one, making it feel like she was shoving her religion down my throat, and two, making it fit within this world and really delving into the mythology behind her religion as well. Some of those tales, that folklore. I thought it was so brilliantly done. And when I was reading it, I wanted to know more. Luckily, I did have time with my book club to do a live virtual chat with the author. And I told her, I'm like, I so appreciate that she did this. So I learned so much from the author herself. And she's, by the way, the nicest person. Super nice. For that reason alone, you should read this book. Besides the excellent storytelling and characterization and complex character dynamics, you know. This book was just easily a 5-star book for me because it was atmospheric. It had really good complex characters. And you also have Dimitri, who is but recovering. He's healing. You know, the whole book for him is his journey to heal from being in an abusive and toxic relationship, you know. Alexei just doesn't know how to love properly at all. You know, he loves power above all else. And, oh God, I hate him so much. But Vasily loves him. And, their whole union is so wholesome, Vasily and Dimitri. Dima and Vasily, endgame. Just seeing them together. There's lots of humor scenes in this book. I particularly want to point out that there is ace representation in the book, and it was just kind of like there, and I'm like, oh, this is brilliant, and I loved it. Just how Simonton represented that community within the, you know, within the LGBTQ community, you know. I thought that it was richly done. I think the book is mesmerizing. You know, it's very... It's a little emotional, you know. It makes you feel angry, and it makes you just be like, oh, and it makes you... There are scenes that I'm just, like, laughing sometimes. And that found family element of the story as well. It was so absolutely well done. I can't stress it enough. It's a brilliant book. Absolutely brilliant book. I'm so looking forward to the sequel. OwlCrate, if you're watching this, you better do the sequel or else I'm going to be really, really pissed. Just saying. These bookish boxes are not always completing their series right now. I know that has to do a lot with publishing agreements, but still, it grinds my gears. OwlCrate, do it. Do it. You will get our money. I promise you. Regardless, easily a 5-star read for me. I just loved this book. I loved everything about this book. I could talk about this book for hours and hours and hours. I haven't even touched the surface about everything I wanted to talk about in this review. You know, it has, again, really good characterization, good atmosphere. I loved the build of this world. You know, I loved the villain. I loved hating the villain. You know, there's nothing redeemable about him at all. Like I said, there's nothing redeemable. He's just a character you love to hate. And it's just an emotive story. You know, it's Oh, and that ending! I need the second book in my hands now. Just now. Now. In any case, once again, The Sins on the Bones, easily a 5-star book for me. It's one of those books that I sit and I think about it and I love it even more. So I could literally spend an entire day talking about this book. I'm so glad it was my book club read because then I got to talk about it every single week and it was like great. Like, yeah. I was just a little crazy about it. So yeah, once again, hands down, great book. Read it. Don't argue. Just go read it. On that note, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your book loving friends. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.